What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. This video in particular because this is a very important PSA. Listen, Linda, listen.
Linda, listen, Linda.
Life as a K-pop fan is not easy, right? It's a lot of effort and money and dedication, and you get attached, you get involved, and people get a little parasocial. I don't want to no one's a monolith. No group of people is a monolith. I get that. But I want to believe that there aren't international fans that agree with this, and I think it's only a K-netizen thing and Korean fans. But do you guys know the group Rise? Laige? I'm not even gonna lie, I know and like one song, Impossible. I've used their instrumental for Impossible on some of the videos on my channel. I don't know much about them, I'm not gonna lie, but with everything going on with Seunghan. Oops, y'all, I'm editing. I forgot to tell y'all, I just uploaded a brand new video on Patreon. If you guys remember the most recent story time we did, we talked about Jane and Tae and Moon, and there's been some developments. They hooked up again, and if you want more of those details, check out the link in the description because that video is just now on Patreon. Alright, let's get back into this nonsense that is SM and Rise and Seunghan and toxic K-pop fans. Rise debuted on September 4th, 2023. 13 months ago. One member, Seunghan, was forced or volunteered for hiatus, whatever, for 10 months. So he wasn't promoting with the group. He just was supposed to come back from a 10-month hiatus. So he barely got to promote with the group after training for who knows how long, after putting in the effort and the work it takes to be an idol. It is hell. Finally gets the debut. And apparently there's outrage and scandal because before he was an idol, he had a girlfriend and he smoked cigarettes, which is legal, by the way. And I don't know if you guys have been to Korea, but a lot of Koreans smoke cigarettes. You know, during the day, girls like to pretend to be in the alley and be low-key about it. My first apartment in Korea always smelled like cigarette smoke because my neighbor smoked. I've never smoked a day in my life. These days, I know a lot of younger people are doing vape, which please stop because it's not any better for you. It is also equally dangerous. But smoking, you would think smoking in Korea is not a big deal. Now, I could maybe understand if he was a minor or whatever at the time of smoking cigarettes because, yeah, that's illegal. But a lot of kids smoke. I've seen it. It's 9 p.m. I'm walking back home and a hagwon just let out and you see kids in uniform smoking cigarettes. Wasn't that unusual? And whether he has a girlfriend now or had one then, how is that a scandal? Honestly, when I heard about him returning from a hiatus, I was like, oh, I wonder why he had to leave. I'm thinking, is it a tail situation? Did he assault someone? Did he essay someone? Did he gang rape someone? What is it? What happened? And when I found out it was just because he had a girlfriend and smoked. Tae is also under SM with this Rise group. Seunghan is with SM. So what I'm trying to understand is why there isn't so much outrage for what Tae is accused of doing or what Tae has done. But people are sending Seunghan funeral wreaths. You guys have seen K-dramas, you've seen news coverage of funerals and stuff. Those pretty funeral wreaths. And along with that are messages like OT6, Seunghan get out, you don't belong, we don't want you, things like that, because he was set to return. And then 2 days later, SM reversed the decision, said due to the public outrage, we decided to reverse that. We're going to kick him out of the group and Rise will continue as a 6-member boy group. And Marika showed me this heartbreaking video of him leaving the SM building and having to walk through these reefs and see that these people want him dead. I'm assuming they want him gone. Fans and netizens or whatever protesting for and advocating for certain members to leave groups is nothing new. I'll never forget. I think the first time it really clocked on my radar was when Chen from EXO revealed that he was either engaged or married and about to have a baby. And people were literally protesting that he should not be in EXO anymore because he has a life. But sending funeral wreaths is incredibly malicious, especially in a country like South Korea where suicide is ridiculously high. He's only 21. All he did was have a girlfriend and smoke. Every single night that I used to go out, I would come back smelling like cigarettes because it's in my hair and in my clothes because people smoke outside. Smoking is not an unusual or an uncommon thing in South Korea. And what really pisses me off about SM in particular is why aren't they quicker to remove these wreaths? Because I remember in 2019 when Wano was accused of being a delinquent and owing people money and or junk, whatever his pre-debut days were. And SM decided to kick him out of the group. It was amicable, whatever you want the story to be. And people were really upset by that. So people were going up to the Starship building and putting up post-it notes like showing support for 1O, myself included. Me and my friend Ashley wrote our notes saying like, we want 1O back, let 1O return, and we put these up, and they were so quick to take these post-it notes down even though it was support for 1O. So what I don't get is these people, hateful fans, I don't even want to call them fans, are leaving these funeral wreaths outside the SM's building, and SM's not taking them down or removing them. It's funny because like I said, I don't even listen to this group necessarily. I'm not like that invested or anything like that, but this is just fucking wrong. There are TikToks and stuff of girls and young fans happily dancing in front of the funeral wreaths that he's like out of the group. Like they're excited about that. They're happy and celebrating, stomping on his grave basically. One thing I really don't understand is, what do these groups or the companies think that they gain by kicking out a member, especially when they haven't really done anything? I remember Ujin from Stray Kids was accused of like SA or harassment and was kicked out of the group, even though it was found that he didn't do anything. I just mentioned 1O from Monsta X. It was found he was exonerated. He didn't do anything. He went on to have a successful solo career, which is great, but he left Monsta X for no good reason. Like when they leave these groups, it's not like the scandal goes away or people just forget. The way I see it, with the whole Rise situation, if you're a real fan, you will still listen to their music. If one member returning because he had a girlfriend and smoked cigarettes before he was an idol, if that's like a deal breaker for you, then you're not actually a fan. You're a troll. I was an English teacher in South Korea, even though I was only at elementary school. You know, they had their cute little boyfriends and girlfriends. Like guys, can I seriously ask this question? Do people out there who are K-pop fans really believe, like actually believe, that when these idols debut, they're virgins, they've never had boyfriends or girlfriends, they're pure and unholy and don't have these thoughts, needs, urges, or desires? Like, is that what we really thinking out here? Like, what I don't understand, and I bring it up a lot on my channel, the struggling birth rate in South Korea and like the growing gender conflict in South Korea, when we can't even normalize dating. How do you expect that to get any better? If anything, if I was like Korea's government or represented branches of the government or whatever, I would encourage these K-pop companies to encourage their idols to date each other, because that would normalize dating. Like, people look up to these celebrities so much, you want to copy what they're doing to some degree. So if you see that so-and-so has a healthy relationship with this girl that he went to high school with or whatever, wouldn't you want to try to foster healthy relationships and start to date too? Like, who knows? But I just don't understand how you keep demonizing natural things, like things that we regular broke citizens do every single day. A lot of people smoke, a lot of people date and have boyfriends and girlfriends. How is that a scandal if you do it but you're famous? Sunghan broke no law, committed no crime. Like, can we please stop calling what everyday citizens do a scandal if you do it but you're famous? And it even reminds me of the whole hyphen dancer scandal thing, where for, I think it was Bite Me. Marika, 도와주세요, 파리와. What was it? The whole hyphen dancer thing? Was it Bite Me, right? And people were mad at
oh, they were mad because
the
there
girls,
was female dancers. I mean, like, when I saw it, I was excited.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, like, girls. And obviously they were quite young then, but that wasn't the problem for them. The problem was that they were just touching like someone that was female, which was like really annoying.
And did you say that people were sending stuff to, like, I know, like, we're talking about like the funeral wreaths at SM. Did people send stuff to, like?
I think because this happened. When did that song come out?
I think,
yeah, I feel like I remember hearing about them sending like stuff to the company. Like, if it's not like those wreaths, those funeral wreaths, it's like like a truck. Who did they did that to somebody else as well. They sent a truck and it has stuff written on it like, don't do this, or we don't want that. And I think a lot of people complained about it, that I think they probably stopped using the girls. I used to like their little, like, those little, like, lacy masks. I was like, ooh, yes, it looks
queen.
really good.
It looks good. And with the concept, Bite Me, like, it would make sense to have a Yoja there.
Exactly.
Bite me.
And the whole story, like, I don't really follow storylines anymore, but the whole story of them, I think, is to do with a girl. And I don't know if she turned them into vampires or like they were already vampires and they met a girl, but it's there's the woman involved. Okay? So it's her fault, or maybe I think they all love her or something like that. I'm not sure.
감사합니다. Sorry to bother you. But yeah, Marika's like a super hyphen fan, so she knows about this way more than I do. She got me into them this year, so I started listening to a lot of their songs. Like, I like You're Not For Sale, I like Moonstruck, I like EXO, I like that song with Yeonjun they did, Blockbuster. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really sick of seeing fans get like parasocial like this when the male idol they like, and I'm sure it's like that with girl idols too, but I only know about like how girls respond because I am a girl. And seeing how girl fans get so territorial and so parasocial when a guy idol or celebrity they like is linked to a woman in any way, whether it's work and you're just dancing, whether it's you went out to dinner with them, you're friends with them, you dated them when you were in high school or before you debuted as a celeb. Like,
breathe in, boy.
The way I feel is if we really love and respect these people as much as we do, we want their happiness, we want their success, you should normalize them wanting to be in relationships and having relationships. That's why back in the day, 2018, when it came out that Hyuna and E'Dawn were dating, I was very proud of her for doing what she did. Her and Dawn said, well, we're going to leave Cube because y'all are being ridiculous. And I wanted them to work. I wanted them to be a thing forever. And she just got married to someone that we don't like him. So I'm a little disappointed. But I honestly believe that at that point, like the tides were turning, because even when that unpopular decision was put out, like Cube said, okay, kick rocks. Cube's stocks dropped. Like they losing Hyuna and E'Dawn because 101 had just had that hit Shining, or that song was everywhere, and 101 was not 101. Oh my God, Pentagon, and they were about to be like a hit and just take off. So I really wanted to believe that that moment was when we were going to start to normalize celebrities in Korea dating openly and healthily, but we are still where we are. It's so weird because when I first got to Korea, like it was very well known that Korea is a couple society, a couple culture. There's couples everywhere. There's so much stuff to do if you're in a relationship and you're in a couple. Like everything is 1+1. Everything is cutesy and romantic. What the hell happened in the last like 5 or 6 years? You know what it is? I think it's the Me Too. I think when women started to be vocal about like their grievances and everyday struggles as a woman, men didn't like to hear us complain and acknowledge their bad behavior. And I think that's when things started to take a turn. That's my theory anyway. I truly hope that somehow the SM people are listening and like all these companies, these Korean entertainment companies and stuff want to expand globally and have this global reach, because yes, that's way more money. There's 50 something million people in South Korea and rapidly dropping versus 7 billion people on the planet. Like K-pop is global, it is taken off, but like you need to start listening to global fans as well. There's a girl, she's one of my Instagram followers. I follow her back. Please, guys, follow me on Instagram. I'm about to be back in Korea next month, so my feed's gonna get a lot more interesting. I screenshotted it and I liked it because I was like, oh, we need to see more of this. Me can't find it. But basically, she's in South Korea, and there was like a truck outside of the SM building or somewhere in the SM buildings close proximity. And it said, if you want to expand globally, you need to listen to global fans. And I was like, that part, yes, because it is K netizens who are upset with Seunghan, who was allowed back in and demanded he be not allowed back in, and decided to send funeral wreaths. And I just made a video like this where we were talking about Bam Bam, who seems to be in better spirits. But again, usually when these unalivings happen, it does seem very ill-timed and sudden. So hopefully he actually is doing better. But God forbid Seunghan took his own life after all of this, and people are sending him funeral wreaths. Now, what if that those wreaths end up being real, like his actual funeral? This was the video that Marika showed me that really pissed me off.
So I'm in front of the SM building right now, and there's layers of flowers for funerals. Let me show you. And it says Rise is 6, and they don't want Seungwan back at all costs. Out with Seungwan is crazy. It really feels like he's dead. There's hundreds of these. They're really taking a stand. I don't know how to feel about that. How do you feel about that? Excessive? Maybe. Let me know in the comments. Simple.
Hundreds of these. You got nothing better to do than spend your hard-earned coins on sending funeral wreaths to a man that is alive. just because you don't like the fact that he used to have a girlfriend. And even if he does still have a girlfriend, it's his life. What? I mean, you know, they say misery loves company. That's all I can imagine this is. Like, you hate your life so much, you're so miserable that you want to make sure somebody else who's successful is also miserable. I hope that, like I started to say before I got off track, I hope that SM is watching the total response of fans and not just the Korean response of fans, and they somehow bring him back in or allow him back in. I will actively start listening to them more if they do. That video of him walking through those funeral flowers was heartbreaking. Like, I'm sure he was crying. We couldn't see his face, but I'm sure he was crying, distraught, depressed, upset, anxious, like all these negative emotions. And then you got girls tap dancing and doing TikTok trends in front of these flowers celebrating. Who raised y'all? You can be a fan and support someone and want their success and want their happiness without feeling like you are entitled to them, their personal life, and their own decisions. People be getting mad parasocial these days, and it's not healthy. Talk to someone, touch grass, get offline. It's okay. It's probably better offline. Like, it's such a shame that these idols have to date in secret because it's a scandal that they fell in love. I can't emphasize this again. No crime committed. Like, I was fully waiting to hear that he touched a minor, or that he sold drugs, or that he like abused his mom. Like, he dated. Do you know how many middle schoolers, elementary school, high school, uni kids date? It's normal.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
I feel like companies, like, they need to start actually protecting and defending their artists. Sunghan should be allowed back in the group. The real fans will support them. And to the fake fans, we say,
bye, Felicia.
Y'all gotta stop demonizing men and women mingling and then wondering why babies aren't being born. Just saying. Anyway, this wasn't even the video I was planning to do today, but I got really upset. And then I saw a lot of recent comments where people talking about this rise and Sunghan's situation. I was like, you know what? There's a lot I do want to say anyway, so bam, here's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like on the video if you support Sunghan coming back in the group. And also, if you just feel for these idols who work really hard to make music and do what they like to do and dance, perform, and be an entertainer, but can't, like, they have to sacrifice their personal lives for it, which is so unfair. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!